Today I'm doing a in-depth foundation contour highlight kind of routine. Yeah, this is good for beginners or anyone who's just starting makeup who wants to walk through on basically how to do things. First, I'm gonna go in with the moisturizer, and you can use whatever works best for you. I have super dry skin, like super like scaly, like alligator skin, especially in the wintertime. So I'm gonna go in with La Creme concentrate. I don't know the name of this, guys. I'm gonna put it on the screen somewhere or put it in the description box. But this is like my favorite moisturizer right now. It's super thick and it definitely like moisturizes my face good. And as you can see, my eyebrows are already done. Next, I'm gonna prime my face, and I'm gonna go in with LA Girl Pro Prep HD High Definition Smoothing Primer. This is what it looks like. It's not fun. And this is like super minimizing to pores, and it's very important to use a primer in general, but with I have like dry skin with very prominent pores, so a primer like this will fill my pores and make my makeup look a lot more smooth. And I just focus this in the areas where I have the most problems with my pores. So that's just like my T-zone. Alright, so next I'm gonna go in with my favorite foundation, which is super hydrating for dry skin. It is Laura Mercier Candle Glow Soft Luminous Foundation, and it is in the color Pecan. So you could apply this with a sponge if you like, but my application of choice is with a brush. I just use a Real Techniques buffing brush to apply my foundation, just because I feel like it gives like a more full coverage, because it's not actually a full coverage foundation, but it's sort of buildable. So I'm gonna apply this next. I'm just gonna squirt it on my hand, then pick it up with the brush and then just put it all over. I'm just gonna take this down on my neck just to make it blend out and not look like strange and weird. So always remember to do that when applying foundation. And another tip is you pretty much have to bring this into your hairline. So I would recommend you not to do your edges before you do your makeup, just because you'll have more trouble blending it in and you'll be able to see the color difference in like your hairline. And another tip is to make sure you go over your eyelids too, just because you will be able to see the color difference on your eyelids. And then just make sure that's blended out really good. So now I'm gonna go on to highlighting and contouring. I keep it pretty basic, and I go in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer. And this is, you can find this like drugstore, hair store. They're really cheap. I mean, I think they're like $2.99 a piece, and they're like great quality. This is basically like high-end quality. So this is great for if you're starting makeup. This is a great concealer to start with. You should usually go a shade, or if you're trying to like have a toned down highlight, I would go a shade above your natural skin tone. But if you want it to be hiked up a little more, I would go a couple more shades up. So I'm kind of like in between, so I use both of these. Like I mix two different ones to get the shade that I want. I use Toffee and I use the color Pure Beige, And I'm gonna put this under my eyes to brighten under my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, my forehead, a little on my upper lip, and a little on my... Also, it's important to keep in mind that you pick colors that match your undertone, because there's such a wide range of colors, LA Girl Pro Concealer colors, like shades, that like if you don't have a red undertone, you can't get a red undertone highlight and things like that. Just keep that kind of thing in mind when you go buy the shade that you're looking for. Just gonna put this right down the side of my nose, and then just do lines out right along where the corner of my eye goes. So now I'm going to go with the lighter shade and just keep it more towards the inner corner of my eye, and then this is just going to brighten up my highlight a little bit. And I also use this a little bit of concealer, and I put it right here on the side of my mouth, just because this is where my foundation tends to separate, because it's like I have a laugh line, I guess, there, like the parenthesis looking things. So I just put concealer there to get rid of the laugh lines and to stop my foundation from separating. While this is on my face, I add my contour on too, just so it can all blend at the same time for a more seamless blend. I use Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick, and I use the color Cocoa, and I use this to basically contour in the hollows of my cheeks, around my forehead here to minimize the size of my forehead, and I go down the bridge of my nose just a little bit to slim in, like to bring in my nose a little bit. So like if you already have an extremely chiseled face, you can skip the contour altogether. You can just go super light. So sometimes I do use the same brush I used to apply my foundation to blend this in, just so it won't be so harsh or so bright. But today I'm going to use my beauty blender, which I do use half the time too. And this is just a damp beauty blender from Real Techniques that you can just pick up online, Amazon, anywhere really. So I'm just going to use this to blend this out. And it's very important to use a damp beauty blender as well as a clean beauty blender, just to minimize breakouts and things like that. Go in with a Real Techniques contour brush. This came in one set, by the way. All the brushes I'm using are Real Techniques, and they're super affordable. You can find them at like Walmart or something like that, and it's also great quality brushes for a great price, great for beginners as well. So I'm just going to use this contour brush to blend out my contour shade, and I'm going to do it in circular motions, just because that makes for a more natural. This out, And also remember to bring this to the hairline as well, because the color difference will be visible, and also bring it down on the side of your face too. The next step will be setting my concealer and setting my contour shade. It is super important to set, just because that will makes your makeup last all day. Also, you won't have the issue with smudging or like touching your face and you have a handful of makeup. Also, if you have oily skin, this will minimize the amount of oil your face is going to produce in a day. So I don't have oily skin. I actually have the opposite. I have extremely dry skin, like I said in the beginning. So what works best for me is in the wintertime, I go extremely easy on the baking. Like I will set it, but I won't like bake. I won't sit down and like let it sit, just because my skin is dry, and eventually grab onto the dry patches on my face and it'll just make me look super patchy. So I go really easy on the baking and the setting in the wintertime. So since I'm being a little on the affordable side, I'm gonna use NYX Mineral Set It Don't Fret It Matte Finishing Powder. So I'm just going to apply this with the same beauty blender that I used to blend out my concealer, and I'm going to pick some up and just also make sure that you do set your eyelid as well, because there is concealer on your eyelid and you want to set everywhere where there's concealer. So now I'm gonna go in to a contour palette. You can use like any pressed powder or like a contour shade, but I'm gonna go into my drugstore contour palette. It's City Color, and I'm gonna go in with just this darker shade here to set my contour. And I'm gonna actually use the same brush that I used to blend it out. Go back in with that beauty blender and pick up a little bit more of the NYX setting powder and go under that contour. This is also setting the rest of the foundation on my face. I'm just gonna go in with this, wish I knew the brand, not quite sure, but it's like a super dense brush, and I'm just gonna use this to dust the powder off of my face. And at the same time, I'm using this to like blend it all together.
Oh, she was at the house.
So I go in my setting powder right after I get done baking my face, and I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, but a good drugstore brand is the Wet n Wild Photo Ready Setting Spray, I believe that's the name of it, but it's by Wet n Wild and it's super affordable. It's about like and I do go in pretty generous with the setting spray, just because like I said, when you set, it makes your makeup last all day. It stays in place. You don't have problems with separating or creasing, and like when you touch your face, you don't have issues with makeup being on your hands. And for blush, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Color Icon in the color Mellow Wine. And I'm going to just use a powder brush from Eco Tools, which is also pretty inexpensive. You can find this at a drugstore, maybe like Walmart. I'm just going to apply this on the apples of my cheek. Now I'm going to go with my e.l.f. Shimmer Stick. This step is optional. You can skip this step and go right into highlighting. But I like to use this. It's like a cream stick. This is how it looks. You can like, it's like a stick, shimmer stick. It's like cream though. And I like to use this under my actual powder highlight just to give it a more in your face kind of glow. You can definitely skip this step altogether and just go straight in with the powder. But this is just what I prefer when I do my normal makeup routine. So I'm just gonna dab this at the height. I'm going to use this crown brush, just like dual fiber crown brush, and I believe these are pretty inexpensive online. I actually got mine in the Ipsy bag, so I'm not 100% sure, but I will put it in the description box below. But I'm going to use my Prosecco Pop here. Now my face is pretty much completely highlighted and glowed, all glowed up, all highlighted, contoured and everything. And I'm just gonna like apply my lashes and my eyeliner as usual, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is my finished foundation, contour, and highlight routine, slash walkthrough, whatever you want to call it. This is it. I did just add on some lip products and some lashes, and this is the complete. If you want to see how to apply lashes or eyebrow routine, just thumbs up this video or comment below, or both, and I will do both of those for you guys. Thanks for watching.